And Reese, I'm so glad that you kind of let everybody know what's happening so that if you guys hear some inconsistencies, bear with us. As a matter of fact, just this week, we actually changed over from a .com to .net. So whenever you have changes, things are about to happen. So bear with us, ride with us. We appreciate you for being here. Stay with us. So it's myturnradio.net. If you can't get us on .com, because I already started getting the contacts, the comments and people reaching out to me saying, "Oh, we can't connect, we can't connect, we can't connect." So there you have it, people. Just catch us on myturnradio.net if you can't reach us on the other. And I think we also have a new Fastcast link, right, Reese? I just saw that you shared that link.
Yeah, we have that new link. There.
It's on our IG. You shared it, and I also shared it on our Instagram. I didn't have a chance because it's happening all in real time, people. So I shared it on our Instagram page, the new link to our show. So if you can't hear us, that's the link. All right, it's in
And,
our Instagram profile.
and they still can go on live. They still can go on the original page to see us live. They still can go
Yes.
there. It's not down or anything. It's just that we're switching over to a new platform. So I don't.
Right. So for right now, it's still available.
Yes,
There you have it.
we're actually live now. So if they want to go
All
over,
right.
so you can go over to myturnradio.com or myturnradio.net.
Either way,
Either
we're
way,
here with you.
right. So
Either way you want to reach us, everybody, we're here. We have some new links, but try one of those links: myturnradio.com, myturnradio.net. Either one, and you click the live button, you will see us. Or, as usual, our live streaming link that we share with you guys, you should be able to click on that and hear us, because if you can't watch us, you can still hear us. All right.
and another thing I want to say too, we love to have fun on here. So in case you see little bloopers or you see little craziness going on, it's just fun. It's all in the name of fun. All right. So we do have a lot of fun here, even after the show.
Yes.
All right. So just want you to be aware that fun. All
Oh,
right.
that's when the craziness really begins.
Exactly. And I think I'm actually gonna do a whole.
After the show.
I think I'm gonna do it after the show bloopers blunders thing because trust me, it's funny, right? So with that being said, uh, today's wow topic, right? I know we discussed couple, but something came to mind just now. Saturday, I was driving and I'm listening to the Ricky Smiley show. So Eva says, "Does love conquer all? Can love conquer all?" Right? So I'm like, okay, yeah, love conquer all. You know how we are, people in love. Oh yes, love. Whatever. But it took a twist. The reason she asked that question was because this couple met each other not knowing that they were first cousins. Okay? And they ended up getting married, having kids,
Oh boy.
and then they went to a family reunion, and that's when they found out that they were first cousins. Now, remember last.
When they went to the family reunion first?
Yes,
Wow.
yes. Remember we had a topic about DNA the other day?
Yes, yes.
And
DNA taking it, whether it should be mandatory to have DNA at birth.
let me, when I heard that, I'm like, you know what? It took me back to that discussion that we had because there's so many people out there that don't know who their family is, their family members. How you know you're getting married to your sister or your brother or your cousin? Like in this instant, this person, his mother died at a young age, and he went away from that side of the family to another side of the family. So he didn't grow up with them.
Mm.
Now, what do you do in a situation like that? You have kids already. They're already in love. You understand? I thought it was interesting. What would you do?
Well,
Like, can you imagine?
geez. You know, that is a tough situation. And as usual, our show is called Let's Connect, where we're not doing any judgments here,
There's no
people.
judgment there.
So,
That's
you
connect.
know, but that's a tough situation. I mean, you get the kids coming into the situation right there. There's nothing you can do but love them and care for them because they're already there,
Yeah.
you know? But it's what comes into question now is the relationship, and that will be hard to maintain, like the marriage, knowing that you're married to a family member. For some people,
Not even,
they don't care.
it's not even like fourth cousin, fifth cousin down the road, you know. It's
Yeah.
two sisters, kids. But then and now it brings up the point. It is important to know where you're coming from, right? Because
Yeah.
it's important to know where you're coming from. Because Carol, I could be out there and I'm like, boy, I like how the boy look and the next thing you know, he my cousin or my brother. And then it's, you know what I'm saying? And it's not their fault.
Yeah.
You can't blame them,
Yeah.
judge them. It's not like they went in there knowing, you know, doing that. I just thought it was
Yeah. That is actually very, very interesting. They didn't go in knowing it, so they didn't knowingly perform some sort of adultery or some sort of incestuous relationship. They did not know that they were related. And it actually happens. I've seen episodes like this on television. I don't know anyone personally, but I'm sure it can happen in this world. Um, and I don't know. Honestly, for me personally, I can't speak for anybody else. It would present a challenge for me after finding out that, wait a minute, I'm directly or primarily related to this person. It's not like some distant cousins,
like how
you
the
know.
royals do it. Because you know the royals do it like that. They want to keep that bloodline, right? They want to keep that
Hmm.
bloodline. So they go all the way down a way to find whoever they need to find. But this is close for comfort.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think first, I don't know. I don't think I could ever stay in it, no matter how much I love that person. I don't.
It would be difficult for me to stay in that relationship as well, knowing that, the familial ties, knowing that I am just directly related to this person every day. And it would just, in my mind, it would be difficult for me to maintain that. I mean, I would still have to love my children. That does not change because their innocence in the whole situation, they're not, they didn't make the decision. I did, we did.
Everybody.
But it would be difficult to, huh?
I said everybody is affected by it. The part everybody in that situation is affected.
Yeah. Everyone is affected, the whole family. And then, so check this out. So the next family reunion you go back to, right? Let's say you stay together. The next family reunion you go back to, everybody looking at you with the side eye, like, wait a minute, didn't we tell y'all that y'all are first cousins? My sister is your.
Well, some people want to look at it as well, it done gone bad already. It's already done. So what's the difference? Maybe that's how.
And the whole, yeah. And then you have others looking at you like, you
The
guys, you family, that's just terrible. Y'all are related, and you're related, and you still going on with this stuff. And sometimes, honestly, that presents genetic issues too. From
yes,
what I understand, I'm not the expert on that, but from what I understand, because if you got certain genetic
yes,
concerns or issues in your family, and you're directly related to this person, that's a double whammy for your children.
boy,
Coming up, inheriting all the same problems that are coming down the line in your family.
I surely don't want to. I would not want to be in that position. I wouldn't. That is a tough one right there.
Yeah.
That's a
That that's a tough one to, tough pill to swallow right there. So, but you guys,
So that makes sure to anybody that you
you know,
date, if you do a DNA test, ask the questions. Don't do a DNA test, but ask the
so
question.
do your investigation, not just no question, because they can tell you anything, right, Reese? So what
Oh,
you're saying is, when
oh,
I meet you, I'm bringing you a questionnaire
yep,
right up front. I'm like, so these are my 10 questions that I need you to answer.
yes,
Number one, are you related to me in
yes.
any shape or form?
Where where you come from? What's your last name? Who are your family members? No, it's true.
I want a blood sample from
Yes,
you.
you do a blood test right now. And I think that's what
I want a blood sample. We doing a blood test.
they used to do blood tests before we people got married, and that was one of the reasons they wanted to make sure that they weren't not related. They used to do blood tests
Yeah.
before you got married back in the
Wow.
day. Yes,
That's a lot
yes.
to go through when you first
Listen,
meet someone, or,
people, yeah,
because, ooh, and then you would have to see all of that to be done when you first meet someone. Because if you start a relationship with them,
but it
like most people
doesn't work.
do, and then you find out after, it's difficult. I mean, it's more difficult if you get married, but it's still difficult if you start the relationship with the person.
Carol, it's not so bad like how it's cousins. It's bad, but it's not bad. What if it was a brother and sister?
Oh, Jesus.
That's what I'm saying. It could have been worse. It could have been brother and sister,
Yeah.
and you don't know what your parents doing and all of that good stuff. How many kids out there? You know how many kids out there that don't know who their father is? You understand?
There's something happening with your system. Something happening with your system, my dear.
I see all kind of pop-ups coming up. Pop up, pop up. Yep, yep.
And we're hearing it. It's very loud and distracting for the rest of us. Okay.
I don't know. I'm trying to turn off the volume.
You're
All right. Can you hear me still?
I can hear you.
Okay. Um. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's.
yeah. It's worse for brother and sister. On it, my opinion on the brother and sister part is, you find that out. I'm sorry, that's a wrap. It's done. That's my point on that.
Oh,
So
that
brother
one.
and
Yeah,
sister, you
definitely.
find out later on, it's a wrap. You're done.
Yeah. So that was my thing.
That's an interesting one.
It's
That's an
very. It's.
emotionally charged subject. That would be very difficult to meet someone and get married to them
And
and
I
have
can.
kids and find out later that they're your brother or your sister. Oh, geez.
I bet that there is a lot of that going on in the world, and people we just don't know. A lot of
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I guess maybe all we have to do is turn on some of those popular TV shows. You know which ones we're talking about. You
Yeah.
probably see it there.
You're
You
gonna leave me
probably
on
see
my
those.
reality show. You're gonna leave me on my reality show.
Because that's
Listen,
your pastime, huh, Reese?
I love my reality show. I love the drama. I love people mix up. I will never be in a mix up, but I love people mix up. I love to see that whole thing. Call me crazy.
But see, that's why you watch the mix up, because you don't want to be in the
Oh
mix
no,
up.
I
You want to
girl.
watch somebody else's mix up.
First of all, if anybody come to me with that, me start cry. All right, I don't. I am a sucker like that. I don't know nothing about being in drama, girl. But I will watch it and laugh all day. Trust me.
Yeah, I don't do the drama either, but we all have some drama in our lives at some
Yes.
point. Life isn't perfect.
Uh,
None of us live a perfect life, so at some point it'll get a little messy. It's just all in how we deal with
I'm
the
not
mess,
messy.
right?
I'm not messy, but I love the messiness.
My goodness. I stay away from the mess personally.
I
That's
just keep
my personal thing.
I just keep it real. I like look
I
at the
stay
way.
away from the drama.
Mhm. My drama is on the TV. That's about it. That's how far it goes. Yeah. So so that was
Well, If any of our listeners are listening right now and want to give us your viewpoint on this, what
Yes,
would you do
yes.
if it
We
turns
want to
out
know.
that you,
Go on
yeah,
our
we're so curious to know right now.
Yes, you can go on our page. Let's connect on Facebook and drop your comments there, or on Instagram at Let's Connect, and that's with a K, and let us know what you think about that. Let us know what you think about that topic. And I'm so excited for today's topic, Miss Carol. I'm excited
Yes,
about the what we're going to be discussing this week, which I think is very, very important to everyone. A lot of people not thinking like that right now. So hopefully after the show they'll, you know, do something. And the topic for this week is why it's important to leave a will. And we have my good friend Miss Valerie coming on in a few minutes to discuss that. She's an attorney
yes,
and she is definitely going to give you some good advice today. So,
yes. That is a good one that we have been. I'm very interested in that topic. I've always been interested in that
a lot
topic.
of people may think that they say, "Oh, I don't have no house. I don't. I'm not. All I have is my clothes and my car." And you never know.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's more to that. It's
Absolutely.
more
I
to
100% agree. A lot of people think, I don't have anything. Why should I get a will? Why should I have a will? I don't have anything that I need to be doing a will for,
right.
or I'm too young to do a will. Or some people are just scared,
You know what?
because
This is
just
what
the
I can't.
thought.
This is what I can't understand. Like Chadwick Boswick, I can never remember his last name. Not remember
Bozeman.
him. Bozeman. He passed away without a will. And not only him, but you have a lot of celebrities that pass and they don't have a will. And
Yes.
I never can understand why wouldn't they leave a will, especially when they have millions of dollars and investments and
You
all
have
of
that
that
much
stuff.
assets. Yeah.
Yeah, I never
They have a lot
understand
of
that.
assets and property and all that
And
stuff.
then yeah, even Prince died without a will. And then they have the people here that fight over it when it could have been easily taken care of. I always tell my mother, I said, listen here, tell me where you're leaving from me now, because I'm not fighting for nothing. And I go around and I pick and say, I want this, I want that, you know. But I mean,
Wait. You go around, you're one of those people, you go around with a sticky note
the
or
sticky,
something,
yep,
and you put
this
your little
I
sticky
want this,
note
I
on
want
everything saying, I want this, I want this, I
put it
want
in
this.
right. Yes, I'm not fighting with anybody. And Carol, if you notice, the fight start after the person, not even in the ground good. Oh yes, I'm supposed to get this, and you know that is true. That before the person even buried, they not even have the funeral yet, and they're fighting over stuff. Now, if they
That's
had,
sad.
yep. So that is why I'm glad we're doing this show, to show the importance. Even if it's your car, you say, okay,
Yeah.
Reese gonna get this car. You understand? That's what it is.
Yeah, so it's different things. So
Different.
that's why this topic is so important, because like I just said before, a lot of us think that, listen, I'm not rich. I don't have any assets. I don't have no property. I don't have anything. So what am I doing a will for? All I have is my car. I don't,
I have a
but
friend
we're going
who's
to
going
talk
through that
about.
right now. I have a friend that is going through that right now because it was not drafted properly. So that's where Miss Valerie comes in and she
Oh,
gives
then
us some.
that's a whole nother issue.
Yeah, yeah.
That is a whole nother aspect of the will
It's
and drafting it properly. What should it say? What should it not
words.
say?
One word.
That's something
In
different.
that. Yeah, one word can make a difference. I'm telling you, I've seen it. One word in a contract or
Mm,
something makes the whole thing totally different. Yep. So
okay.
I am
So we
so
will chat with Miss Valerie when she comes on
she's coming
about
on
that.
soon.
But
Yeah.
one of the things I wanted to say real quickly, what's that?
Huh?
What's that, Reese?
No, I'm listening.
Did you? Oh, I thought you said something. I'm sorry. Um, one of the things I wanted to mention before Valerie gets here, and that is, by the way, our special guest Valerie Raphael Esquire.
Esquire. Said
She's a
Esquire.
lawyer and Esquire. So she's a lawyer and she's an expert in this field. And when she comes on, she'll talk about her experience, her background, and give us all the info on this topic, and just teach us the do's and the don'ts and all of that. But in the meantime, what I wanted to mention again is, please, 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 friends, family, everybody who's listening to us right now, our supporters, you wonderful audience, we want you to send us show topics, show ideas.
Yes.
So when we're setting up our lineup, which by the way, right now our lineup is posted on all of our social media platforms.
Yes.
So you can find it on Instagram, you can find it on YouTube, you can find it on Facebook. So go out there and see our lineup. We always put it out for the whole month. We have our lineup. But that's not to say, we can't change it, because you guys determine what we're going to be doing. So if there's something that's important to you, then you better believe that's what we're going to be addressing,
Yes. We want
because
the
we want you
feedback,
to
and
stick with us.
we want you guys to tell us what you want us to discuss. Like this month's lineup
Yes.
is really good. This month's lineup is really good.
Yes.
Talking about postpartum depression, which a lot of people think that's not a disease. It is a disease. We're talking about autism. That's
Yes.
very, 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 very common right now, autism. And then the last topic of the month is, I can't wait for this one, is dating disasters. Okay, so I know we have a whole bunch of people that can call in and tell us what they're, I always have a story, so I'll wait then. So
Yes,
um
yes. I
dating
think we
disasters.
all
So
do.
yes,
I think
yes, so
we
that's good.
all have stories where that topic is concerned, which is why we're going to be doing that topic, because we want to hear all about your dating disasters. Okay. We want it. We want it all, the
We
good, the
want
bad, the ugly. We want everything.
Yes, we want it. I want to be all up in your business. I want to know why. Yes.
Yeah. And
I,
that's not, again, that's not to judge, it's just to
no, we just doing it
share
for sharing to help other people in
and
the
have a
dating world.
connection.
We
We
want to
want
help
a
people in
real
the dating
connection
world.
here,
Yes.
on this show, because we all have the stories. If you're a human being any at all,
Listen,
you do have.
If Reese is on the show, there are stories. Okay, you know that.
Yeah, we
Um,
all have. I
and
think we all have a story right
we
there,
all
to be
do.
honest with you. When it comes to dating disasters or something, we have, maybe
We
not
could write
everybody.
a book, right?
There are
And
some people who might have just sailed on through with no issues, and great.
can I meet
That
them,
is
please?
fantastic.
I know you can
We
share
want
that.
the advice from you.
I know. So hi, there's my friend. Hi, Valerie.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Finally I get you on the show. It's busybody. So welcome to the Connect.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
So
Great. Good to see you.
so ladies, we have Miss Valerie Raphael on our show. She just joined us. And Miss Valerie, we're just, kind of talking about the importance of having a will. So before we get into all that, I want my listeners to know, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started in your field, and then we can just dive into the topic.
Okay, well, hello everyone. It's so I'm so glad to be here. It's a pleasure to finally be here. I know Andrea's always like, you have to come, you have to come. So I am the managing partner at KEMET Law Group. We are a general practice firm specializing in personal injury, immigration, real estate, and estate planning. Primary office is in Boca Raton, Florida, but we do have satellite offices in Fort Lauderdale and Miami-Dade County as well. Uh, Essentially, I just always wanted to be an attorney. My parents are immigrants to this country. They worked hard to put us through school, and one of the ways I figured to pay it forward was to get that education and be able to use that knowledge to help people who need it, especially the ones that can't afford to pay those high attorneys fees. We try to work with everyone, every range to make sure that you get the legal representation that you need without necessarily breaking the bank. So it's a pleasure to be here, and I hope I can answer all your questions today.
I know you can, honey. I know that's why I asked for
For
you.
having me.
Awesome.
All right,
Boca
so
Raton, Florida.
welcome. So for everyone in the Florida in South Florida, you actually can we'll at the end of the interview we'll actually get her contact information where you can find her and all of that. All right.
Yes.
So
Yep.
let's dive into the topic why we need to leave a will because we were talking about Chadwick dying and not leaving a will and a lot of people that have assets, money, all of that, they somehow forgot to write that will. So we want you to, tell us the importance and give us some education on that.
Of course. So let's start with it's not always necessary to have a will if you have the proper estate planning done. But unfortunately, a lot of people, a lot of minorities, if I may, don't necessarily know what else they can do other than leaving a will. So the will is one of the most basic estate planning tools out there that are available to help people when they die to make sure their family is taken care of the way they want their family to be taken care of. So if you die without a will, your property is going to get distributed according to Florida law, which may be different from how the testator, the person who passed away, would have wanted those assets to be distributed. So there are so many benefits to having a will. The first one is you get the property distributed according to your wishes. So the Florida government, the legislature does not make those choices for you. Those assets are distributed according to your wishes. Another one is you get to choose who will distribute those assets, which is what's called a personal representative. So this is the person who will manage your estate and make sure that your wishes under the will are respected and the assets are distributed to the people you wanted to have the will, to have those assets. What's another one? You have charities. A lot of people have charitable intent where they want to make sure at their death they benefit a charity that has been dear to their heart. So you can assign a charity that will receive a gift from your estate if you have a will. Otherwise, the state of Florida will just make a decision to give it to your heirs at law, and that's the extent of the donations or the distributions under your after you pass away. You can leave a guardian for your children named in your will, so that way you can make sure your children are also protected. Your minor children are protected after you die. So there's so many benefits to having a will. Obviously, there's more to estate planning, but the will at a minimum is a very good estate planning tool to have.
I have a question because I
Yeah.
heard, and I'm not sure that someone asked, when it comes to kids, right?
Hmm.
I thought that, say, for instance, I pass away, naturally the kids would go to their father or something like that. I was told that you have to specify, you have to be specific, like in a will, if I pass away, I want them to go to my sister, not the father. Is that true? Or what if I die? Do they just automatically go to the next of kin, which would be the dad? Or do you
Uh,
really have to put it
in
in writing?
in the case of parents, it's different. So if there are minor children and let's say mom dies, but there's a dad, unless there was reason to believe that the dad is not fit to take care of his children, you can't take away the parental rights in the will. The dad will be the legal guardian by law.
Okay.
Um, However, if both parents were to pass away, that's where a will comes into play because then you don't know, okay, mom and dad are not here. Who else you think will be fit to take care of your children in the untimely event of your death?
So then it would be a good idea to do a will stating that in the event that both of us go, this is who I would want my children to go to.
Exactly. You want to get as specific as possible, and that's why you need the right person. I don't necessarily want to say that you need to have an attorney to draft your will, but the more specific you can get in terms of any eventuality that may come up. So with minor children, there are tax consequences as well when you have property that you want to leave. So having the right person preparing your will can help uh, get rid of those issues at probate.
Okay.
Okay. So you touched on that, and that's an interesting topic or issue that you mentioned just now that I wanted to ask about, because I saw something about a will can help to reduce the amount of inheritance tax, so, and I think that's related to what you just mentioned. So
Mhm.
can you talk about that a little bit? And it says that might be payable on the value of the property and the money that you're leaving behind. So is that just like tax there, whatever you're leaving behind is going to get taxed, but if you have a will, how does that decrease the tax?
Well, if you have a will, then you can decrease your tax burden. Certain estates, depending on the size of the estate, will get hit with an estate tax. And there's also a gift tax that we can discuss at another time because it happens
Hmm.
before, but it can happen after death as well. So by
Okay.
having a will, you can make certain gifts effective
Hmm.
at your death, which in turn will decrease the size of your estate, and that would also decrease the amount of estate tax your estate will get charged with at probate. So it's very
Okay.
important to make sure that you plan in that aspect. Obviously we do work with a team of accountants, and there are so many tax implications that go into the right planning. So one of the biggest thing is the estate tax.
Okay. I
Okay.
have a friend that's going through right now. Um, the will that was left was not drafted properly, so that is causing a whole new, you know, set of problems right there. So you can have the will, but then you have to make sure that it's drafted properly because it will just, you know, be an issue also.
One of the most simple examples, spouses who prepare wills, because each spouse will have an individual will. So let's say your husband decides he wants to have a will and he passes away years later and you find out that he left you out of the will. Florida law says you can't take away all unless the surviving spouse had signed a premarital agreement saying she's waiving her interest in your estate. You can't do that. So at minimum, there's what's called, one of the things is called elective share, which if the will says I'm leaving nothing to my spouse, that surviving spouse will still get something under Florida law. So that's just one prime example of something that a person may do thinking it's okay and their wife or husband is not going to get anything at death, and that's just not the case. They still get something.
Oh,
Okay.
that's important. So when it comes to husbands and wives, just the fact that you have that relationship, it kind of trumps the
Right.
will, so to
It
speak.
Yeah, you can't divest your surviving spouse unless they waive that right in some sort of marital agreement.
Mm.
Mm. And then I read somewhere also where that is concerned, that if you are married, right, and you have a will, let's say I did a will and my spouse died, right? I change my will after my spouse died then? Can I change what it said while he was alive? Can I now change it after he's gone?
So this is your will you're talking about,
Yeah.
right? So you can
Yeah.
change your will at any time before your death. essentially. So if it's
Okay.
your will, you obviously, if your spouse died and this is his will we're talking about, not much you can do because
Yeah.
one, he drafted it, and now that he's gone, there's no more change that can be made. But you can make changes to your will
Right.
as many times as you
Okay.
want. You just have to make sure the
I see.
formalities are respected.
I have another question because
Hmm.
all right. So you remember Anna Nicole and her husband, right?
Right.
And he left a will saying that was it that she was to get it or whatever. She was to get money. The children come if a person leaves a will, and because you said specify what you're gonna get. How is it that other people from the outside can come in and fight the will that the person left? And they say they're of sound mind and all that good stuff, right? Why is it okay for them, or why is it possible? How is it possible for them to come in to fight the will that the person left?
So that you're talking about her spouse, her surviving spouse, and
No,
I'm not sure.
he passed, left
Hmm.
her all these millions of dollars. The
Hmm.
kids, I don't think they got anything. So
Right, I
they're
remember.
right. So they came after her, but he left the will. You understand?
Well, you can always fight a will if you suspect, let's say, there was some sort of duress or undue influence that went into making the will. So, one basis that they could probably have used, I mean, if my dad passed away and he left everything to my stepmom, I'd probably say, listen, she probably forced him to give everything to her and find out whatever excuse I can find. There are ways to prove that yes, he may have been of sound mind, but there was more at play than just him willingly signing
It to
his
her.
estate to her. So that's one basis they could have used to fight that.
I always wondered that, like, the person left the money to the person,
Hmm.
and then you have the kids, they're feeling sore or sour because they didn't get anything. So they want, I always wondered that's the whole
Yeah.
reason you left a will, right?
You, yes, but it doesn't mean people aren't gonna fight after you're gone. They
Uh,
fight in life and at death,
Not
unfortunately.
fighting for money.
unfortunately, but
Yeah.
I guess it makes it easier if you have one rather than not,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Because
So
in
at
that
least if
case,
you have one, they can't
hmm
really contest too much. They can try to contest it, but the will stands unless, like you said, the person wasn't of sound mind or something like that that they can prove,
yeah,
right? If I'm understanding what you're saying correctly.
exactly.
Okay. So, is there anything else that you'd like to add on to? Oh, you had a question, Carol? Sorry.
Yeah, I had some questions. So let's say you have one child.
Hmm.
Do you think it's necessary to have a will if you just have one kid? Because some people will say, and some of these questions I'm asking because I'm trying to think about like what our audience would want to know, to say,
Hmm.
I have one child, what everything I have is going to go to my kid anyway. So why do I need to do a will? What do you say to those people?
It's better to have it in writing than to take any guesswork later on because things change. Property assets that you may have while you have that will may not exist at your death. It's just so many uncertainties in life. Why would you leave one of the most important things, which is making sure that your child is provided for, up to guesswork? So, as a general practice, everyone should have a will, whether you feel like you have $1 million in assets versus just $100 in the bank. Put it in writing. That
Okay.
way, it takes the guesswork out of it.
Yeah, put it in writing, that $100, so that they don't fight over it.
And they
Yeah.
will.
Plus, it
There are
makes,
people out there.
What?
yeah, right?
That one hundred
And it
dollars?
makes the administration of it a lot easier, makes
Yeah,
it a lot easier when you do have that will, even if you only have one child or so, makes the administration of everything you want easier because you have it there.
All right.
Okay.
exactly.
So,
So so to piggyback off of that question, a lot of us, not all, but some of us, black and brown folks, um, feel that, you know what, I don't have a lot of assets. I don't have anything. I just, maybe I don't even have a car, or maybe I do have a car,
Hmm.
or, I don't have anything that I need to be making up a will for. And if I got $10 in the bank, it's just $10. My kid is going to get that anyway. So what do you say, or have you experienced, or, and I'm sure you have, because you're part of the Black and brown race, so you know very well what some of us are going through and how we feel. So what has
Yeah.
been your experience with this population, and giving them advice, and what do you want to tell them right now?
The biggest thing is misinformation. And, we touched upon the fact that it's better to have it in writing than to leave it up to guesswork. You can have a beat up car and $10 in the bank. That's still considered an asset that at your death will need to be distributed to your next of kin. So the biggest work we need to do is education to make sure that the right information is given, and doing something like this, which we know is going to reach some, if not all, is one way of starting that process of educating ourselves to know what we can and can't do. There's, in addition to the will, there are other documents that would help with planning your estate, which you don't necessarily need to be a millionaire to have those things in place. A living will, something as simple as pull the plug or don't pull the plug if I am in the hospital.
True.
That's a decision that's important.
That
It's
was
a
a big
simple
case.
document.
There was a big case.
Yes, I was going to get into that
She
next.
was in Florida. I don't know if you remember. She she was on life support
Perry
for was it months or
Sivo.
Sha-
Yeah.
exactly. That was a big one. And I'm like, I don't know what I would do. I don't know.
So for the rest of us who don't know about that, can you tell
Yeah,
us,
what a
sum that
living
up
will
for us,
is.
Reese? Tell us, what are you talking about? No, no,
Um,
no, the point that you're making right now. Or maybe Valerie can sum that up for us a little bit.
Yeah, just to mention the living will, it's another way of planning your estate. And if you are incapacitated, you are being specific as to what you want to happen. A lot of that happens, it comes back to what you, the person who's suffering during these times of incapacity or you've passed away, what do you want to happen? No one will know best what your wishes are, but
I'm
you.
torn
So
on.
having a will, having a living will, which is a document that dictates what you want to happen in terms of life prolonging situations. Do they pull the plug? Do they not? Who do you designate to do that for you? Another document you have to think about is a power of attorney. A lot of times, if you have that power of attorney, you can go to the bank, and if your mom is having any issues, as the power of attorney, you can make those certain decisions, such as going to the bank and obtaining necessary information from that account. Otherwise, they're not going to give you. So it seems simple when we talk about it, but because we're not informed, it's it's as if it's you know,
It don't
for
exist.
lack of a better word, the
Yeah,
Chinese. We're talking Chinese right now.
I know. But no, you make a point because there is a lot of people that don't they see
We
living
don't
will and they
know.
don't know what living will is.
What
Like I have
Yeah.
that
a
is.
I one of my listeners, she wants you to explain trusts. I
But
hate
so, but before we get there, that, please keep that thought, because that's very important, and I really want to hear about that as well. But you just mentioned something. I kind of just want to piggyback off of that, Reese, that you ladies were just discussing before we move on. So
Hmm.
the whole idea, see, a lot of people have that fear, like, okay, if I do a living will, right? It could mean that I'm predicting my death, or they get superstitious a little bit. And I just want to touch on that, because a lot of people just think it's so morbid. Why would I want to
yeah.
plan my own will, talk about my death? I don't want to go into that. So I want to talk to the folks out there within the sound of my voice. If you're listening and you're hearing this today, we're saying to you, it's not that you're planning your death. But it is so important of what Valerie just talked about. There's so many things that come along, and I just want to reiterate it. That's really what I'm doing with the living will. If you get somehow incapacitated and you can't make a decision for yourself, there's so many accidents out, car accidents, right? Heaven forbid something happens, you end up in the hospital and you cannot make a decision for yourself. The name of that document is what again, Valerie, if you could just remind us?
It is called a living will, but that is for life prolonging decisions if you are on life support. Another document is called a healthcare surrogate, which is separate from a living will, and that is for you give someone, the healthcare surrogate that you designate in that document, the power to make medical decisions for you, independent of those life prolonging decisions.
Right. Yes.
But you
So
know
here
what?
in New York, I think we call that a healthcare proxy, but I'm
Yes,
sure it's the same document, right? So
it's the
you have a
same.
healthcare proxy. Oh, okay. A healthcare proxy to make that decisions, give that decision-making power to somebody else, the person you want to make the decision. Because if you do not, stipulate that in advance, anybody whoever feels that I don't know who could, Valerie could tell us what's most common in a situation like that. Walk in and make those medical decisions for you and say, "Oh, take them off life support,"
But wait,
and you're
stick a pin
standing
right
there
there.
like,
No, stick a
"Yeah,
pin right there. Can you say if I do a living will, I don't want them the minute if I'm there and I'm unconscious for like 2 days. Do they pull the plug because they say pull the plug? Or can I say after certain amount of days? If after 30 days I'm not up and laughing with you guys, pull the plug. Can I
You can make it
okay, because
as
you're gonna
specific
have
as you want.
Mm.
okay, because I'm wondering, okay,
ah,
just because they say pull the plug, that don't mean pull the plug the day I get in the hospital and I'm in a coma for 1 day. You know?
And then you designate the wrong
And
person,
and
so Valerie, if
and
you
they've
put
just been
that
waiting
in
for it.
I
there,
was waiting to
if you
have
put that in your document that you want to wait 30 days instead of a week, like what Reese says, that means they have to wait the 30 days.
They
Is that
have
how
to
that
yes,
wait.
works?
that's what Carol, can you imagine you tell somebody and you did not know that person have something against you and you right up in the hospital, this is what I was waiting for.
I've
One
got you
day.
now.
I got you now. You said you want, but that is why I can you be
I'm in
specific.
charge now.
I'm in
I
charge. You
make the
gave
rules
me
now.
Wait a minute, but
no.
isn't Will supposed
What's that movie? I'm the captain now.
Yeah, you can do nothing. So
or
that's
isn't
Yeah.
why I
before
asked, can you specify if you see me 3 months and I'm still not making a change, pull the plug.
but isn't the will supposed to be for the family, not just for anybody, correct?
It don't have to be for family. No,
Which
Why
will?
would
Are we
you
talking
give
about
it to
the
some-
last will?
But why would you want to give it to somebody you think that will want to do something like that though?
so not all families for you, miss.
Yeah, but you would give it to, but I would choose, I would want my trustworthy family who you know that you're really close to you, possibly that you would put in your will.
You have people that's closer to you than that's not family. Are you kidding? You have people that
But,
have you
but
have
would they have
families
your
out
best
there
interest? But
that
would they have your best interest in heart?
oh yes, Kim. You do
Who?
have people you do have situations
Yes.
where you have people outside your family member is better for you than your family.
Exactly. So that
Yes.
would be the person that you would choose to put down. I would personally
Yeah.
not choose
Right.
Oh,
So
because you
that's
hear
what
because you
that's what
I
that's
respect
what
my
we're talking about, is like you're gonna pick whoever you feel is gonna make the best decision, right, Valerie?
the best
It's
decision.
like, and
Exactly.
that's who you're gonna stipulate, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Right.
The problem is, even sometimes you think you know people, and it turns out you don't know them as well. So in that scenario, the person
right.
that you named as
That's
the
It's
um
just like when you leave the will, right? You and your brother and sister never fight before, never have no issue, and the minute the parent is gone, that's when everybody you see a different side to the same brother and sister that you had an awesome relationship with. I'm telling you, money, change, money, greed, I mean,
We had a situation with a probate where there was no will, and the brother and sister, two siblings, were fighting over their mom's lasagna pan. Who was to get the lasagna pan?
How much is this lasagna pan? Was it made of gold
No, it was just
or
sentimental
diamond
value.
encrusted?
Mom's
sentiment.
Well,
favorite
that's
lasagna
that's
pan should
important.
go to me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm talking about? A pan. So
Wow.
can you imagine if
But it's not just a pan to
it's
them, it's
right?
the sentiments.
Yeah,
Right.
but the
What
whole
it,
Um,
idea is no matter how much you know a person or you think you know the person, when a situation like death comes up, that's when you see you know, and
yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's crazy. Before,
and the whole idea of the will is to avoid or as best you can, because like we said, it
yes,
doesn't always avoid because people can contest it, but to
Yeah.
try to avoid that as best as possible by making these stipulations in advance to say, all right, mom's pan, or mom says the pan is going to go to Carol and Reese or Kimberly, or you're not getting it. It's going here, or everybody gets it each week or something,
come
but
up,
something should be outlined,
we
right?
laugh at a
you
pan.
gotta
We
make
laugh
sure
because it's a pan,
that
but
you have
it's
to make
really more than the pan, as Valerie said. It's a
Right, right. But
sentimental.
what I'm saying is the importance of stipulating that
Oh,
up front to
that's
make
right.
sure everyone understands and avoid all of the fighting
That's it.
that could occur.
yeah. So
That's
she
what
To
you
the
have to
say
do. You
extent
have to
Carol have
possible.
the pan Monday to Friday, and then Valerie have the pan. This would I mean, if it's that serious,
So, so
So
the
Un-
idea is to sum that little discussion up right there was a will alone is not enough, right, Valerie? That's what you're saying.
it's not enough. If you can do a complete estate planning to the extent that it meets with your needs. So we had mentioned the trust earlier, um, and
Yes.
essentially a trust is another way of protecting your assets. You're protecting it from creditors. It can help you reduce your estate taxes,
I see that all
um,
the time. Trust
and
for the
it can
trustee
also,
and
yeah,
all of that.
because if you have, and before I first learned what a trust was, I imagined it was this institution and you have your assets at that place and somebody's managing it. Essentially, it's a document. It's a trust document, and then you put the assets you want in that document and say these assets will now be transferred into the trust. So the trust owns those assets, and a lot of parents choose that option to protect, make sure their kids are taken care of in the future, because when you set up a trust, you, the person who creates the trust, can designate a trustee, which is like a manager. So the manager of that trust will be charged based on the terms and everything contained in that document, that trust document. They will make sure they abide by your wishes. So some parents, for their children, they set up trusts that say, my child will get X amount of dollars on their 25th birthday, provided they have graduated from college with
Okay, trust.
a bachelor's degree. The beneficiaries don't have control over the assets. They only get the benefits of what comes to them at the frequency that the trust says it's going to come to them.
So can
So
you put a house under trust? Because I've
you can
seen
put a
that.
house under a trust, yes.
Okay, I've seen that
Uh,
where the person.
So then what is the difference? And this is a genuine question. It might be a silly one, but I'm sure somebody
mhm.
else has it. I can't be the only one who's silly in this world. So what's the difference then between a will then and the trust? Because to me, you can put these things in your will, right? To say, okay, little Johnny will be getting this, in the event of my death. So how is that different from a trust?
The trust, you can create a trust in your will as well. This is called a testamentary trust. So in your will, you can say that these properties are to pass in the the Valerie Raphael Trust at my death, and I shall designate Carol as trustee of my trust to be able to distribute these assets according to the terms of that trust. If you just leave the assets to your beneficiaries in the will, they have full control over it once they get it. But if the assets are placed in a trust,
Mm,
they don't have control, so they can't dissipate any assets and squander what you may have taken a lifetime to build to leave for them. So it's about managing
mm.
what's left, making sure that the trustee can reinvest. That's another duty they have. They can reinvest and make sure that the trust assets make money and grow, but it also keeps the beneficiaries from just squandering everything away.
So basically, a will is not as simple as we think it is to just sit and write and say, I leave my car, I leave my clothes, I leave my jewelry. You can get very technical with it.
It's it's but one piece of the puzzle. It's a start, but there's always more to be done to make sure that you can protect yourself from all angles.
Maybe that's why these
Right.
celebrities don't want to go through that because it's too much. So they just leave it. They're dead. I guess they're gonna say they're dying already. They're dead already. So let them sort it out. You
To
Yeah,
know?
but
each
that's
his
so
own, I say.
irresponsible.
Huh?
To each his own.
Yeah.
Or,
No,
but
I mean, if I had that much money, I would want to make sure it's, you know, allocated correctly. But as I said, it's so technical.
you know, one
It
of
is,
my
it is, I guess, but go ahead, Valerie.
no, the in the will you can leave all your assets to charity as well. And
Leave it
that's
to the cat.
another point of contention for beneficiaries because I have had a client do that, and the beneficiaries who were felt they were entitled to something wanted to contest it, but
All right. How about
it's
when the person leaves all their money to the
Wait,
cat?
wait, wait, but are they able to contest that, Valerie?
they can try if they can say that maybe there was some sort of undue influence, or like maybe they know their relative well enough to know that this is not something they would ever do, but it's very hard to prove those things. If the testator says I want to leave my assets to the cancer foundation, you
The
have to obey their
charity or
wishes.
like, yeah.
They can contest, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're gonna get the money.
Right.
So okay,
Okay.
all right. I've heard where some like rich people, rich women, old women leave money to the cat or their dog. I mean, seriously, in is that for real? And if so, what happened to that money? Because the cat can't use it.
That's a great question.
It's true. I've seen there was this
I
New
have
York socialite that did that. She left it to her
I've
cat.
heard, I've heard. I haven't come across this scenario, although I have something similar. But typically, what I think happens is, in addition to saying I leave it to my pets, they probably set up a trust and a trustee that can manage and make sure that the needs of the pet are met during their lifetime. So it's not just, I
five
mean, because
million dollars. That's a rich
the pet can't
rich.
spend the money.
Well, I'm telling
So,
you.
but I did
Wow.
have a situation where I drafted a will and the client wanted to, they wanted to be buried with the ashes of their pet. And they asked the attorneys to bring the ashes. So a lot of odd requests come with the will preparation. It's like you're not just building that attorney client relationship. It's more of a personal relationship eventually, because this is someone who's coming to you with their most intimate decisions that they want to make, and they're hoping that you will look at them and not judge, but they have a lot of strange requests out there and we still have to obey.
So you were at the meeting with the urn?
Oh no,
Oh,
it thankfully it didn't happen that way.
oh, okay. Yeah, you do have some strange requests out there. And I mean, when I heard about the lady leaving the money for the cat, I'm like, this can't be real. It can't be real. But you're saying that they, the trust of the cat, go to, what? I tell you, It's
So,
Pets need protection too.
yes.
oh boy. I kind of read somewhere also, and Valerie, I'm sure you know better than I do. What are the new numbers you might have heard of?
Hmm.
That like 70 do not have a will. Is that more in line with what you've heard or what
I
you're aware of,
I
do you
lost you
think?
for
Or
a
is that
second.
off base or?
Can you repeat?
Yes,
You
so
broke
I
up.
had read somewhere. Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Is it better now? Are we back? Okay, perfect. So I had read somewhere that 70% of Americans don't have a will, right? So is that in line with what you are aware of, what you've encountered, or is it higher? Is it less? Is that number too inflated, or what are you aware of where this is concerned?
From what I've read in the past, that sounds accurate. Uh, we don't realize just how many people are walking around without a will, and it is it is a sad reality, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's true.
Like,
It's true.
Because we need to educate our people more. It's just like life insurance. When you tell them about buying life insurance, they're like, "Why buy life insurance for what?" And it is important, in my opinion. Just like leaving a will. So we need to educate our people more and let them see the advantages of doing certain things.
it's
Yeah.
it's very taboo in a sense for people. In our culture, it seems if we talk about death, we're inviting death in, right? The, we have a hard time facing our mortality, but it's also responsible. It's the responsible thing to do to make sure that you know you're going to die at some point. Make sure that
Mm-hmm.
your affairs are in order in the event that does happen.
When I talk to kids
Right.
about that, they're like, "What's wrong with you? What's wrong? Where are you sick?" No, I'm just making. I know it's not an easy topic to talk about, but
It's
you have to
not.
talk
Yeah.
about it. You
Yeah.
have to talk about it.
Exactly. And that was my point that I was making as well. It's like we want to educate people. And that's one of the main reasons that we decided to do this topic today, because we want everybody to understand and to know. Like you just said, Valerie, you have to think about your mortality. None of us are going to live forever. All of us are going to die at some point, and we're not just talking about death, because we're alive right now and we're happy to be alive, and for most of us who are healthy and fine, but it's just that you want to put your affairs in order in the event that something happens unforeseen that you were not aware that would happen. Then if it does happen, your children don't have to be worried, or you don't have to worry that, what, somebody from the outside or the government, can just come in and take away your hard-earned whatever you've earned.
Yep,
All right.
and they're good for that.
So the next question I really want to ask you, Valerie, and as a lawyer, I kind of know what your answer would be because you are a lawyer, but I'm still going to ask it. So
Go
when
ahead.
you are thinking about developing a will, do you need a lawyer?
Of course. You think you're gonna say no? Of
My answer will always be yes.
course.
Yeah.
Only, but you're not limited to a lawyer because earlier I mentioned that there are tax implications. So a lawyer who doesn't have a background in tax or tax law may not be able to give you the complete view of the estate planning that you're seeking. So you may need to, in addition to involving a lawyer, also involve an accountant and other professionals. And usually those are for estates that are sizable, but the at the bare minimum, don't go on legal Zoom or those one size fits all because every circumstance is different. And that's where you kind of see people get into trouble sometimes because one version of the form may work for one person, but it doesn't necessarily work for another.
Every
Mm,
situation is different.
And see, that's the specific reason I was asking you. I wasn't just doing it to be funny, but I was asking because someone had given me some advice before and told me, that I can do this online myself.
Mhm.
And I know that there are sites out there like one that you just mentioned. So I know that there are a lot of us folks who are just going to go hop online and try to do it ourselves. And it's not that they can't do it or you can't do it online. You could, and I think it's not super expensive either. It's maybe about 50 bucks or somewhere along those lines that you can go online and get, your will done.
Mhm.
However, like you just said, Valerie, if it's a little bit more complex and it depends on what type of assets or how much assets or this and that you have, you might need to definitely get a professional
They
to
hear
do this
attorney
Exactly.
and
properly.
they maybe they hear attorney and they're like, oh my God, that's going to be expensive just to do a will. So that they'll rather jump online when necessarily sometimes you may need to spend that extra money to make sure it's done correctly and
Right.
to get everything you want, So
And we've seen that many times where the client thought they were getting a good deal and they went for one size fits all, then something goes wrong and then they have to come to the lawyer and it costs more money. It's just
to fix it.
in the long run, it's a much better financial decision, I think, to just do it right in the first place. And that's not to say that those companies out there that prepare the wills online, you can access online. It doesn't mean that they don't. I've seen those forms and they are excellent, but it's not for everybody.
Exactly. It's not a one size fits all because let's face it, we're all different, right? Human beings, we have different things that of importance to us as
Hmm.
well. So something that might be crucial to me might not be crucial to another person, and then that one
So
size fit
Valerie,
all just simply doesn't work.
so
Right.
let me ask you, if someone from New Jersey wants to write a will, say, I'm going to call Valerie and I want to write a will. You're based in Florida. You are licensed in Florida. Can
Correct.
you, with a will, does the person have to be licensed in their state, or you can get a will from any lawyer from any state?
As a general practice, I stay in the state that I'm licensed in because the rules can be a little tricky sometimes. I don't want to be seen as practicing law in another state that I'm not licensed in. So, as a general rule, no, we will only prepare for Florida residents.
Okay. All right.
Okay. That's an important distinction to make, Gracie. That's
Yeah.
great. So Valerie, what are some of the things that really shouldn't be put in a will? Because I saw some things and I just wanted to ask you about them. Some of them are kind of funny. So what would you say are some things that you don't necessarily have to put in a will, people?
Uh,
Do we
a
want?
life insurance policy. So if you,
Okay.
as the testator, the person whose will is being prepared, you have a life insurance policy that designates a specific beneficiary. Whether or not you put that life insurance policy in your will, the insurance company will pay it out to the beneficiary that's named in that policy.
Right.
So it's not
Ah,
necessary to put it in there.
Good point.
Uh, so that's usually a big one. Property
okay.
that is owned together with someone else. So it's not just owned by you as a testator, you own it in common or jointly with another person. That property is going to go automatically to the person after your death. So that's not necessary to put that in the will as well. Same with bank accounts where there's more than two persons, you and somebody else on the account. It's a joint account. That's not usually necessary. Depending on how the account is titled, you may not have to put that in the will either. So a will
Okay.
only disposes of assets that were owned only by the testator at their death. So anything that's jointly owned or
Ah,
that
that's
has
a
a
key point.
beneficiary already designated, that's not the will's not going to be able to
Mm-hmm.
divest the interest of the other party.
Good point.
Got you. All right. What about, I saw something about your funeral plans, right? So if you want to like have your ashes scattered in the river Ganges or whatever, the River Nile or somewhere, you know,
We go
should
back to
those
the
be in a will?
specifics. Specific, be as specific as possible. If that's what you want to happen at your death, put it in there.
Okay, got you.
Otherwise,
And
whoever is disposing of your, who's planning your funeral or disposing of your ashes may do it in a way that you would not have wanted at your death. So you want to make sure your wishes are respected, put it in a will.
okay, and I saw something also about your digital, I can't say that word ever. Can you imagine? I'm a voiceover artist who can't say the word digital. Got it. So, okay, a digital estate. I'm still
Hmm.
working on that word. So like your iTunes and your, any digital stuff that you have, your accounts, or, you know, do you put those in a will? Would you recommend, or do you not put,
In terms of
stuff?
those,
Stuff Yeah, maybe you have, I don't even know if this would fall into it, but maybe some video games or
mhm,
something. I think I saw somewhere where it was like, just give your passwords to someone to make sure, because maybe, that you'll lose it. Your iTunes category library or whatever of songs and stuff that you've paid for. And
mhm. Those are considered intangible assets and they're
All right.
still your assets. So if you own it and you want to make sure that it's given to the person or distributed according to your wishes, it's better safe than sorry to put it in there.
What's going on? Are you guys here?
okay.
Same
Yes, we
with
are. It's very
yeah,
loud.
we're here. I hear you though.
What is it? I don't see anything going on. I just hear noise.
It's
I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. I'm not.
Well, you should see your fears.
Oh, it's the ghost. It's the ghost telling us to stop talking about the will. I don't know.
the same with stock options. Company stocks, those
Sock.
are assets that you own. And if you want your surviving spouse or maybe your child to receive those stock options, it's best to put in the will so they know how to transfer, how to initiate the transfer.
Right.
Gotcha. That's interesting. And then another one that was not recommended, people, for all of you who might be thinking of this, no, I'm kidding, I'm being silly, is like illegal gifts and requests and stuff, right?
Illegal
So
gifts.
anything that you have that are not really above board that you want to pass down, should that be in your will?
It depends on the person. If they say they want it in there, my collection of
A collection of weed.
Because they feel like yeah,
whatever.
right, because they feel like, listen, if I pass away then I'm gone, I don't care, but I'll pass on my stuff to you. I'll
Funny
pass on the
story.
farm in the backyard to you, right, Reese?
So my professor from law school, he did probate and estate planning as well. He told us about this one client who passed away and he had done the will a few years before and now he was doing the probate of the estate. Goes to the property. Sometimes you have to go and make sure that nothing's been taken out, make sure all the property, the assets are at the house. And I think somehow they stumbled on this collection of porn videos that this person had amassed throughout the years, and nobody knew. It wasn't in the will.
Yeah,
Nobody
what to
knew
do
that.
with it?
So it's just, it's an interesting situation. Obviously, if it means so much to you and you want everything to be accounted for, you could decide to put it in the will. Yeah.
I gotta tell you though, I don't know what I would do, Valerie, if I somehow inherited a whole boatload of illegal stuff. I'd be like, what? Did I tell you I want that? Because now I'm in trouble.
It depends on the illegal stuff in my case. Okay.
like
Since we
like Reese
know,
tried to give me the whole farm, and I'm like, wait a minute, what?
You said
How
you
am I
wanted
since
supposed
we
to
trees.
know
do
we're
this?
You
not,
said you wanted a farm.
here's the deal. We know we're not immortal. We're going to leave this earth at some point.
Right.
Whatever you can do to clean it up before then,
Clean it up.
that's my advice. Take care of it before.
Pass
Yes.
it on.
All listeners out there, take care of your business. I tell
Oh my
you,
goodness, I just
I'm-
had to throw that. I just had to throw that in.
you're around me too long, Carol. You're around me too long.
I know, right? You're rubbing off, man. You're rubbing off on
I
me.
noticed Miss Kim is quiet around there, you know. I
No,
noticed she
I know.
quiet.
She's quiet, and we can't even see her.
We can't even see her today. Like, what's she hiding?
what do you mean you can't see
It's
me?
like, why are
I
you
can't see
hiding?
you.
We can't see you. Your
Where?
camera is off. All
Galaxy
we hear is
tab.
some voice jumping in every now and then, and
There
it's
she
like,
is.
Now
hello,
we see
here you
you.
are.
But guess what? Me never know that. I didn't know that. I thought the whole time me see everybody, me thinks everybody see me. I
No,
see
honey.
off.
I'm like, why is she hiding from us? I'm like, are you kidding?
I was saying, who's off the camera? But I see everybody.
Like,
Valerie, this is what happens every Wednesday, okay? And we're not even drinking, okay? So you
I'm
can
just-
imagine.
uncharted
Somebody-
territory.
Somebody else was on and that they didn't show their face. You never know it's me, you know. The one time, Jesus,
Welcome to Let's Connect.
oh my
That's
God.
hilarious. I'm sorry. Kim,
I
do
love
not send
Zoom.
me down the laughter lane.
Zoom
about
is
to lose
excellent,
it.
but you know,
She's
we have to watch out.
Exactly.
We don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, I'm
We
sure you've seen the news.
Oh
And
yeah,
the
we and the commercials. Yes.
I
Yes.
have no idea.
said, I was wondering
Yes, I really was. I was saying, I wonder who's not on. I was just supposed to be another guest or something.
Oh gosh.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna
So
start crying.
do you have any questions for
That's
Miss?
Sorry.
That's why they made the emoji sign like this. That was definitely for me.
That's your emoji. So this is how
God.
we connect on Wednesdays, Miss Valerie. Okay.
Okay.
So
Oh,
you
oh
know.
my gosh. I'm
So
sorry, dear
where can our listeners find you again? Your contact info.
Sure. So our telephone number is 561-870-0605. Our email address is KLG, so for Kemet Law Group, the first three letters, at Kemet, KEMET, lawgroup.com.
All right, I will put that information on our Instagram page and on our Facebook page and on our YouTube page.
So
Kim,
before you go though, I'm sorry to cut you, Reese. One of our listeners were asking, since because they're in other states, so we have people from different states who are listening right now, was asking, since you are in Florida and they're not in Florida or even in New Jersey, are you able to recommend, I don't know if your law firm has any branches anywhere else, are you able to recommend any lawyers from other states?
We don't
And
have
by
any
the way,
branches.
Reese, they say they can't hear me. So I don't know. Maybe you can turn me up a little bit. Are you able to
can't
do
hear
that? Mhm. So, all right. I'm sorry, Valerie. Thank you so much.
Okay, I can hear you. So we don't have any branches in other states yet. Oh, eventually one day we'll get there, but we do have a network of attorneys out of state that we may be able to refer. It's just a matter of getting the right contact to pass on
Okay.
to the client.
Okay. So would you say that they should reach out to you first and then you'll help them to find that type of lawyer in another state? Is that how you would do it?
The state bar usually has attorney referral. So anyone I refer would be a personal contact that I have in that state. So if they can't find an attorney through the Florida to the state bar where they are, they can always reach out to me, and I'll see if I know an attorney from whatever state they're in to put them in touch with that attorney.
Okay, so you would say go onto your state's website. Like, how would you? I'm sorry, I don't know how
The
to.
bar website. So every
Okay.
state bar is different, but they do have attorney referral lists on there, or there could be a button that says find an attorney. They usually have attorneys listed or a way to connect you with an attorney. And if that doesn't work, reach out to me. If I have a contact, I'll be more than happy to connect them.
Okay. Okay, so listeners, you heard it yourself from Valerie right there. Um, you heard it yourself. Go to the state bar website, and thank you, Reese. There now, I'm getting comments that people can hear me a little bit better now, so that's great.
Okay.
I don't know what you did, but you did your little magic. That was great.
I'm trying to keep my
Um,
job, people. I'm trying to keep my job. So,
please, please, you're about to get fired this week again.
every week I'm in jeopardy of getting fired.
So you guys, you heard it yourself. Valerie just said go to the state bar website, get on there and find a lawyer. And I guess you'll have to type in what specific lawyer you're looking for what is it, estate planning?
Estate planning. Yeah, it depends on if it's for estate planning. Estate planning is usually the keyword you can put in there.
Okay, awesome.
Thank
Awesome,
you
because
so
there are a
much.
lot of folks who are in different places and they would love to get to you, but if they can't get to you, just go to your state. All right. And if you're in Florida, you know where to go. Valerie is here with us. She just gave you
You
the
know where to
info.
find me.
Yes, yes.
That's right. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thanks,
It was
Valerie.
so informative.
Sure.
Thank you for having me. It was very fun, actually. I've never actually done this.
Oh,
So
hey, that's
this
how we
was
do
a
it.
first for me.
And yeah.
Awesome.
So hopefully we'll have you back time after time to discuss, because I know you do immigration law and you do other parts of law. So
Yes.
she's well rounded, honey.
Nice.
I only deal with the best. Okay.
Of
Thank you. Thank you
course.
so much for having me.
All
So
righty.
keep us on your speed dial so the next time we need you, you'll be coming back to share with us and educate us.
I know we asked you a
Sounds
lot of
good.
questions today, but we really had some listeners out there that definitely needed to hear this. So
And she's a pro.
And
She
I
got
hope
this. She had
I hope I was
everything
able
like that.
to answer their questions. You know, with COVID and everything going on, you don't want to leave it up to chance.
yeah.
Uh, it's better to be prepared as much as possible.
All right. And with that being said, we are going to go ahead and move into our next segment. But before I do that, you can stick around
Thank you,
if you
Miss
want, Valerie.
Valerie.
You don't have to leave. If you have time, you can stick around. We don't chase our
Okay.
guests. We have a party on here. I just want to shout out to the listeners in Jersey. I see we have listeners in Patterson, Newark, West Orange. So I
Awesome.
want to big up the New Jersey
We
listeners.
have listeners in Maryland
Yeah,
who
well,
are listening right now.
okay. So big up to the Maryland people. Thank you so much for joining us on the Let's Connect show. We really appreciate that. And I hope that every Wednesday you're here with us, because that's what we want. We want to provide good content radio. So you'll keep coming back, right? So with that being said, we have our favorite. This is me and Carol's favorite section, health and wellness, with the one
All
and
right.
only Kimberly from
We
Kimberly.
should have left. We should have left her. Make sure keep our camera
I
off.
know, right?
And let her do her segment in the dark.
In the dark. Yeah.
Oh God, you see about it? I don't even know. Like, tell me, I'm saying, who is that person? It must be another guest or something, but maybe she didn't want to show her face.
I'm
Don't,
surprised.
don't,
I'm surprised you didn't text me and say, Andrea, I don't see anybody. What's going on?
what, Missy? Oh, Missy, everybody else But me not see that one somebody me not see. Somebody said that person that probably don't want to show up ears.
I can't.
Oh
No,
my God.
like you. But
Oh,
that's
I'm
serious.
so sorry.
Somebody say
You
my
are a mess.
I said they hear my voice, so I'm on and everything like that. I said, but we me not understand why nobody don't see me. Me not understand this. We
Only you,
yeah,
Kim.
only me, I tell you. Lord
Gotta
Jesus,
love this group. Gotta love this.
Oh,
God have
So what
oh
we
mercy.
my
talking about
goodness.
this week? What are we talking about this week in health and
What are
wellness?
we talking about in health and wellness?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen and everybody else out there, good afternoon, good evening. Today this is Kimberly, first of all, from Kimberly's Glam Spa and Boutique. Also part of Let's Connect with a K. Today's topic is what about supplements? This is really important to have. This is definitely part of health and wellness because supplements, a lot of people don't really understand how supplements work. And supplements right now is a hot item right now. People don't realize that it really is a big thing right now because of all the COVID that was going on and everything like that. So people weren't talking about supplements at one time. Nobody don't really care about supplements because nobody don't understand supplements and how important. Now everybody want to run to Whole Foods or Trader Joe's or whatever, and everybody are run when they go there. All the stuff you don't remember during the COVID, like the beginning part of COVID, all of the supplements gone. So all of a sudden now everybody know about supplements.
Because they think that it can prevent COVID.
Exactly. You see, but guess what? It has to be the time that they think that that's going to help with the immune system at the particular time. So what about the other 300 and something days throughout the year that
Right.
would need these supplements? Well, okay, it's all right because it is what it is. That's just life. People do that all the time as well with the supplement business and everything. So the thing about it, the importance of supplements and what we have to have right now for our bodies, all the different types of supplements. The only thing that one of the things I have to say to people, not just supplements alone that we need to be taking. We still need to do our regular diet. Supplements are just something that just piggyback right off of our regular food because it's just going to help you throughout the time and everything with whatever you're eating. So it's actually just that extra help, that extra boost is what it does. So supplements are a little hot item right now. Um, you can find them anywhere. You can find them now. Sephora has them. You can find them. You can even find them in Marshalls and TJ Maxx. Not to say that you guys need to be getting those because you have to watch the dates and you need to know what you're getting. You definitely can find them in Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, Farm. What is it? Fresh Farms, Fresh Farm Markets, any type of mom and pop supplement stores. You can find different types of supplements that will guarantee health and beauty benefits. The question is, do you need a supplement? And that's one of the questions that I've heard people ask before. Do you really need a supplement? Well, we need a variety of options to meet our goals and dietary concerns. Overall, healthy diets can use a supplement boost. That's what I was just explaining just now. So if you're eating fruits and vegetables and all, that might not be enough if you're not getting all of those nutrients or you're not getting what you need out of out of that food. So you do need that little boost from the supplement. Okay. So not every individual needs a supplement. Taking a daily vitamin um, will cover some of the gaps and everything like that too as well. Now, I do take supplements. Do you guys take supplements, ladies?
Yes, I do.
You take supplements? Andrea, you take
I
supplements?
I do too.
You do too? Okay. So yeah, so
Yeah,
we have,
but
I'm sorry,
it's
go ahead.
interesting you mentioned because
Sorry, I'm sorry.
I've been looking for zinc since this pandemic hit, and it's been very hard to find it on the shelves. I
It's
I used to
like
see it all the time,
impossible.
And
but
is it,
now
it's still hard?
it's very hard, at least in my neighborhood in Florida.
Oh, where are you at, Valerie?
So
Exactly.
can
I'm
I
in
just
I'm in
Where,
go
Plantation.
ahead?
oh, you're in Plantation? So the
Hmm.
Whole Foods don't have it anymore right now?
I haven't been to Whole Foods recently, but when I went a couple weeks ago, I didn't find any. Maybe
Oh,
it's when the time I went.
okay. Yeah, because they're starting to put everything back on the shelf because people are trying to, how now it was kind of dying out a little bit. Nobody's really talking about the
Hmm.
pandemic right now and everything. So they start putting things back on the shelf. So when I usually go over to Whole Foods, I happen to see those things starting to come back and everything. So I'm starting to see some. So check often, like elderberry. It's back now. Before you couldn't find
Yeah.
it, but now you can find that. It was one of the number one immune boosting products that actually help you and everything. And I start seeing that back on the shelf. So check back with.
Okay.
You have to keep checking more often. That's really important to have too as well.
So I
Carol,
just want to jump in with a comment with you, my dear. I wanted to wait till you were done.
go right ahead.
Because what you ladies both were talking about just now is so key. And it just so happens that yesterday, and I wrote this down, and this morning I was telling a friend the very same thing because I wrote it down every time I see something interesting. And the girls, they know that I do this all the time. I was watching Dr. Oz, and he was talking about this very topic yesterday as well. And he talked about zinc. Okay. And there are certain ones that boost your immune system, especially for COVID right now, particularly for COVID. And
Mhm,
one of them is zinc. And you're supposed to get, I think, 85 milligrams per
mhm,
day of zinc, which would be good. And however, because it's so hard to find, to your point, Valerie, it's hard to find. He said a great source of zinc is actually like the oysters in the can. So if you
mhm,
can find the oysters, like smoked oysters in the can, he
mhm,
says that's an excellent source of zinc. So
mhm.
if you can't find it in the tablet or something, maybe you go look for some canned oysters, my dear, and that might work for you. I know I take a multivitamin and I don't have enough in my multivitamin, but I also do order the elderberry. I
Right.
do take
The
that every
elderberry.
day too.
Exactly. And that's one of the things too. That's what I was saying as far as that whole supplement thing boosting on the back, like you were saying about the oysters that Dr. Oz. I love Dr. Oz, it's my favorite. I always get his book. Um, I absolutely love him. What was it? He looks great for his age, doesn't he? He looks awesome. I do. I always see him.
Ooh, she is crushing. Look who's crushing
Yeah,
on Dr. Oz.
Dr.
Whoop
Oz.
whoop.
I think
He is cute.
he's a real doctor. That's what I love. I love to listen to him. So anything that he says, you better listen to. I'm telling you. So the thing about it is when you're getting eating good foods, like what he was saying, like the oysters and stuff like that. So certain foods or whatever, you might not be eating that much zinc, depending on how much it is. Then you can piggyback off the use, getting a supplement and everything to help you with that to boost that up. If you're following a diet that excludes certain food groups like paleo, um, or paleo, whatever they call it, raw, it's a raw diet, keto meaning only raw foods and stuff like that, keto, gluten free, then you do definitely have to get a supplement because you're not getting specific types of nutrients and that you need out of that. So you definitely want to. There's your piggyback right there. So foods you on that thing. Andrea, what is that?
I know, right? She left for a minute and she come back with this noise in our ears. Girl,
Yeah, Andrea. Andrea always got something going on with that thing.
she's on the path to be fired this week again,
I'm
People.
telling you.
Wait,
Yeah,
just
Andrea,
wait.
you soon lose your job. You stay there. Womanized. And out of ya.
You
I'm,
have one more chance, Miss Reese.
yeah, go on. Let me, send me a mess with
Wait,
you.
let me get the pink slip ready in the meantime.
Exactly, exactly. Oh God, have mercy. All righty, moving
Watch
on.
out, she ignore it.
I know, right? She ignored it. Examples: vegans and vegetarians need to ensure that they are getting enough B12, iodine, zinc, and iron. Because being a vegetarian, they got to supplement with something else. So if they're not getting it with what they're doing with the vegetarian, so that's where your little supplements pop in at. So supplements are really good little things that you got to piggyback and stuff on too as well. And just going back to that paleo or paleo diet or whatever they call it, I was looking up and they called it like a caveman or stone age diet. So people predominantly what they were doing was based on some people are do a plant-based diet or they focus on a animal product diet or whatever. So that whole I'm not really understanding the paleo diet, but that is a diet that when they say a caveman or stone age diet, I guess they focus on that one specific thing. So if it's animal products, they focus on that's what they do. If it's plant-based, it's focusing on plant-based food. So again,
Okay.
they will miss out on certain nutrients and things too. So again, those are things that you definitely want to get your supplements and stuff in and all. Also, in specific population group, adults 50 of age, we need more increase in vitamin D and B12. Now, I know when I went to my doctor, and I'm going to just tell you, and it's not a black and white thing, but most women of color, we lack vitamin D. That is true.
Yes.
In here, we just lack vitamin D more than our Caucasian
Yes.
women. We do. We
Yes.
lack vitamin D and the B12. So we definitely need more of that. When I went to my doctor recently this year, she says your vitamin D is low. Well, I knew that already. So when she told me that, because I've kind of been hearing that throughout the years, now that's one thing that I've been hearing throughout the years. So the vitamin D, she gave me vitamin D3. Now, some people will try to understand what vitamin D and vitamin D3 is. Now, I was saying to myself, well, what is vitamin D3? I'm saying to myself,
Mhm.
what difference in vitamin D and vitamin D3? Because it is a difference. Vitamin D3 comes naturally. It's actually inside of us. It's more of a natural type of. It comes from the sun, so it's kind of based from out of our body. So that's why they want when your doctor prescribe you for vitamin D3, that's more naturally that comes from this like from our bodies. So that's why the vitamin D3 will be better than the regular vitamin D, as it was understood to me. So because I was trying to figure out what the heck is going on here with this vitamin, because it's confusing me. Let me try to. Yes, here we go. Naturally form of vitamin D, which your body makes from the sunlight. Okay, that's it. So that's the vitamin D3. So naturally form of vitamin.
Okay.
Okay, so just to understand, but some people don't understand. They think vitamin D is vitamin D. Vitamin D3 is totally different. So you probably want to look more into the vitamin D3 when you're getting a supplement in vitamin D than just regular vitamin D. That's just to let you know and all. Yeah, mate. Uh huh.
Okay. So
Oh,
to touch on what you were talking about, I raised my hand simply because I don't want to cut you while you're going.
no, you're good.
But to touch on what you're talking about with the vitamin D, of course, over the years, I've always, no matter what I do, I've always found my doctor always told me that I was also vitamin D deficient.
Yes.
And even yesterday, Dr. Oz again did talk about that as well. Most of the folks, so the folks who are listening to us right now,
Mhm.
I know we have all types of listeners,
Right.
but honest to goodness truth, black and brown people are more prone to be vitamin D deficient. So you want to pay attention.
Yes.
And what I found out also is that, thank you, Valerie. Valerie, for the folks who are not
Yes.
seeing us but are listening, our special guest, Valerie, just logged off. We thank you so much for joining us. Um, so the vitamin D, I found out recently that I went to my doctor and I asked for a script to go get blood tests done, to get lab work done. And they're no longer just including the vitamin D, or some health insurance companies are not including your vitamin D testing in your blood panel blood tests that you're doing. So it's something that you have to request specifically, and if you don't see it on your blood test, because it used to be a few years ago, it used to just happen automatically. It's one of the tests that, is on your blood test, and you look and you see, oh, your vitamin D is low, and your doctor says you need to take vitamin D3, blah, blah, blah. Now they're not doing that anymore. So you guys, you want to pay attention to that and make sure that you're getting your vitamin D
That's
tests
good.
done so you know whether you're deficient or not, and get those levels up. And
That's
apparently, from what Dr. Oz said, it's 2,000 IUs per day that you're supposed to
right.
be taking of vitamin D.
That's right. And the thing about it too, I'm glad you said that. Where is my vitamin 3? Hold on one second. Let me just grab.
Yeah, I got to grab mine too. Look at mine because it's important.
Mine is 50,000 units.
Vitamin D.
Yeah, vitamin D3. There's mine right here.
Okay.
You got 50,000 units IUs?
Yes, baby. You have that?
What?
Yeah, I got
Wait,
50,000.
50,000 in one pill?
Yes, baby.
What kind of horse pill that you have?
We have to take mine one time a week. But yet, here's the thing.
That's like a horse tranquilizer.
I go to a holistic doctor and
50,000.
everything.
Are you? Oh my goodness. I was
Yes,
gonna be bragging to say I take at least 6,000 per day.
six
You know,
thousand.
you need 2,000, but you taking 50,000. Girl.
No, no, no. Listen, listen. You take yours a day.
Yeah.
I don't take it a day. I take it once a week. That's the reason.
Oh,
I take mine once a week.
Oh.
I can only take this once a week.
Just like I say, you take 50,000 a day, girl.
So with mine, it
Okay.
averages up. So I do 1,000. I'm sorry. I do one time out of the week. So if I'm taking it today, just say I take it anytime this week. It doesn't matter. You don't take it until a week from now. It's only once a week.
Okay.
You're not allowed to take it twice a week.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
have a
because that's a lot.
Yeah, I have a vitamin, a very strong vitamin D, which actually it works out good because guess what? It's helping me a lot too with my exercising and doing certain things that I'm able to do. So yeah, I'm glad she gave me my boost. Definitely.
Okay, good. That works because mine is about 6,000 per day and I take it daily as well.
Right.
Simply because what you just mentioned, I take this thing here. Check this out.
you know,
Yeah.
you know how many of those
I take this.
I started and I don't use it and I don't finish it.
You gotta be on it. And then I do this too. See, my vitamin D3. I take
So wait,
that
is
plus
that
I got my one a day multi.
so is that your
Hmm?
multivitamin, Carol?
Yeah, I have a multivitamin. Yes, I have the multivitamin as well as the D3.
Okay, okay, okay. So I
I
have my multi. Wait, hold on.
I have multivitamin and I hardly take them.
Do you not take them, girl? You better start taking these things.
Where everybody's showing their multivitamin is what show and tell.
Ah,
Oh yes, we're on show and tell today. You know, we got to keep this show popping.
I see
right.
that we have. I see. I don't mean. I
There
see
was
we have
my
Anthony. Anthony is in the room. And welcome, Anthony.
welcome, Anthony.
Welcome, Anthony.
So it's show and tell. Show us your vitamins.
Supplement.
What? Yes, girl. Nice. So that's your multivitamin, Kim?
Yeah, that's my supplements that I use. That one has now this is a 5 pack because it comes like this. Tell you.
Why
Hold
is it
on.
so big?
Huh?
Why is it so big?
No, that's a box. That's a box. Hold on.
Because Kim dealing everything high octane levels, you know. You know that by now.
It's like
It's packages. It's packages.
uh,
Yeah.
so everybody on else come into one pill buckle. Yours have to come into a
Yeah. She,
in a pouch.
let me say, Haas tranquilizer levels is what Kim deals with.
Mine simply says very simple AM and PM, so it keeps me on track. Thank you very much. Yes, keeps me on track. Okay, for my heart, it's
Kim stuff is major potencies.
Yes.
garlic, turmeric.
All of that.
Oh
Don't-
yeah, those are important.
Hey, this is the real deal, you know.
I
This
see.
kept me from the COVID. No COVID. Hear me, I tell you. You say, oh, me, I take it in peel. Me take the garlic and put it in water. Me take the turmeric and peel it and put it in water. That right there helped the inflammation in my body so bad. When me think say me have arthritis and the doctor say you know I have no arthritis and nothing's wrong with you when I had my bone test. So you see these supplements and a drug business, you know.
But sometimes I wonder if they really work. Seriously.
They really do. Because you know why? I noticed that I'm not feeling, I noticed how my leg, my knee, Andrea, it was in March when this knee was swollen up.
I remember.
Remember? And I couldn't walk. When during the time over the COVID time, and I boil up this tea here, this supplement. I didn't take the supplement. I took the real deal. I took the turmeric tea. The turmeric, I'm gonna do the garlic, I'm gonna do ginger. I boil it up every single day for the whole month. All me I walk and everything normal, everything again. So when we started read about what I was taking, reading more about it, I said, oh my God, it makes sense. It's an anti-inflammatory. That's what the problem is. So it helps with
So when you did it before, you didn't know it was an inflam in what that word.
No, I did, but I
Anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
no anti-inflammatory. You're funny. Anti-inflammatory. Yes, they were saying that it helped. You know how people tell you the turmeric will help you with that
Right.
or whatever and stuff like that. You know, during the time. But most, it wasn't really that. It was because of the COVID. The turmeric, they were saying how it help your immune system. That's more what I was really thinking more, and then the garlic and everything like that. So when I said, let me do a little bit more research and everything on the turmeric, when I did do the research on the turmeric, I start realizing that it's an anti-inflammatory, and then also the ginger I already knew too
Right.
also, and the
Right.
garlic. And I said, it makes sense. Well, all of them together, this is why I'm feeling the way I am. And at that time there, that pain, inflammation, everything was gone. So yes, I do believe that it does work. And if you're being consistent, which is my favorite word, I should post
Assistant.
it right on top of my forehead because consistent is my favorite word. If you're being consistent, because that's a true thing, you will see. And if it's something that's good for you and you do that, you will see the benefits from it.
Right.
So
And that's the key word right there, Reese, is you have to be consistent. You have to take this stuff consistently, otherwise you
The
will
result.
not see
honestly,
the value of it.
for
And
real.
that's why you will think that it's not working because you've got to take it every day.
But you know what is so funny? I would pop a pill if my head hurting or if my shoulder hurting and those kind of things. But when it comes to the supplements and vitamins, I'm like, does that really, really do anything for you? So
Because you're looking for instant gratification. If you take a painkiller, it'll work after a while.
I-
These supplements is not just going to snap your finger. You take it and boom, all of a sudden, my muscles grow so big. It takes a while to kick in.
right,
Like she
it has
says, the
to absorb.
anti-inflammatory thing.
Right. And it has to absorb into the body and everything too, as well. And another thing too, if you are taking something that is really, really good for you, and you're saying, God, I've been taking it consistently for months and months and months, and nothing hasn't happened, that's where you need to go back to start detoxing your body. That goes back to that detoxing the body so you can flush out what's in there so that way it can start absorbing into your body. You see
right,
what I'm saying? So that's the same thing. Like for instance, it's a treatment I do in here called dermaplaning. Okay, that takes off the extra dead skin cells in order for products to penetrate better into the skin so they can see the difference in their skin. That's why I take before and after pictures. That's exactly the same thing. It removes so that way it can get rid of. So therefore, the product can penetrate and you can actually see the benefits of what's going on with your skin. So the same thing with the vitamins. Well, if you have to cleanse and detox your body out, then do that so your vitamins can absorb and you're better. But the best thing to do also too, Andrea, is herbal teas. Herbal teas are the best thing if you want something faster and fast gratification. I would say herbal teas. I don't take aspirin and stuff for my headaches. I just drink herbal teas, and for some reason, it disappears. It goes away. I try not to do too much of the pills and
Mm.
all, you know. But I mean, if you try to need it right away, you have to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
if you try the herbal tea, sweetheart, it will work. If you give it some, like Carol was saying, it doesn't happen like bing, like that. But
right, right.
yeah, and a natural way, and they make you feel good too. Just like those teas when we went down to my girl there for the teas and all that. I would love to go see her again too.
You
Speaking
need
of
to.
herbal, yes, I was thinking about her, and I saw her on Instagram, and I think she said she had some new, she had all the goodies back, the vegan goodies. Yay! All right. So
All
anyway,
right.
big beauty concerns. You can get supplements, many nutrients through not through food alone, but you may consider supplements, for example, biotin supplements to help strengthen hair and nails. Now, you get a lot of people say they use biotin, and it does. The nails grow real strong. They, the hair, excuse me, grows real strong and everything. So definitely, you want to give those things a try. Collagen, antioxidant, and collagen supplements may help with sun damage and wrinkles. A lot of people believe in if you're getting a really good collagen supplement, it can help you with sun damage and wrinkles and stuff. So I do collagen treatments in here on top of the skin, and it does work with plumpiness to the skin. So if you're taking it internally, it should help boost that as well. Supplements are not a cure-all. Supplements don't replace the importance of a well-rounded, nutrient-rich diet that includes fruits, veggies, and whole grains, and healthy proteins and fats. Adding in a supplement can only help support specific needs, which is true. So nobody can't just live off of supplements. Does that kind of, if you think you can just live off supplements alone, that's not going to work. Okay, so they just, supplements have to have a best, some best friends. Here are a list of supplements. Vitamin C, which is ascorbic acid, which is one of my favorites and one of my top treatments in here. And it helps protect cells and keep them healthy. Also maintain healthy skin, blood vessels, bones, and cartilage. Now, does vitamin C really does all those things? Yes, it does. Truly, it really does. Okay. B12 is a nutrient that helps keep the body's nerve and blood cells. Healthy B12 also prevents a type of anemia called megaloblastic that makes people tired and weak. Now, everybody knows when you get a B12, that's why they say get those B12. I don't know if you've been hearing about the shots, the IV shots and all. Well, if you get the B12 energy, that's what that's for. So that's what they were saying. So people say they get that boost of energy from the B12.
Yeah, I wanted to jump in about the vitamin C. Again, my favorite, Dr. Oz, he talked about this yesterday as well, because that's a part of the package. The three things that he kind of touched on where to help fight the COVID is the vitamin C. He talked about the zinc, and he talked about the vitamin D, or like the three master blasters to help fight the COVID. But in terms of the vitamin C, he said something that was interesting to me. And he said, like, most of the vitamin C that we're aware of, like, you use lemons, oranges, grapefruits, all of that, which is great in vitamin C. But a lot of those are more water soluble, he mentioned, right? Because it's water, you juice it, you drink it, and then you go to the bathroom and it may be passed out of the body, etc. But one of the things that I didn't realize that he mentioned is that red bell peppers are a great source of vitamin C, people. So, and when you eat that, that's a great source of vitamin C, and it's less water soluble because you eat it, it goes in, and it doesn't just, pass through.
Stay right.
Huh?
I didn't know that. I know what
I didn't know that either. I learned that from him yesterday. Red bell peppers, people. So go pick up some fresh.
I just sit and eat it like that. But I've been drinking a lot of orange juice lately, like just constantly drinking orange juice. That's what I want.
That's good. You're building up your vitamin C level. That's great. But for some other people, nice. Very nice.
You're boasty. You're boasty.
She's showing off. For people who can't see, she went and brought her red bell pepper and yellow peppers onto the camera, showing off on the rest of us. Very nice. So you got your nice dose. There you go. So you got your good dose of vitamin C right there.
I want to get on his show so bad. I'm going to get on that show.
Crazy.
You keep talking here, girl. Maybe if we mention him, somebody will just say, "Hey, Dr. Oz, these girls keep talking about you. Maybe you should."
I love it. I love it. But that is true. And then also too with vitamin C, actually more to just like iron. If you're taking iron, you've got to have the two of those should go together. Just so you know that the vitamin C. Because when I was juicing for my mom and trying to build up her iron, vitamin C has to piggyback on top of the iron in order for it to absorb it and to actually make that really work. And I didn't know that until I on that too as well. So just not iron alone, iron pills. You got to take some vitamin C with it in order for that to really, really work together and stuff like that. So I didn't know that as well until I started doing that, and then that's what helped my mom also too as well. So yes, vitamin C is it's when you're using it for the skin, and if you ever get a serum, make sure it's L ascorbic acid.
Say that again.
L, the letter L, ascorbic acid. Make sure.
What is that?
For the vitamin C.
Okay.
Yes, make sure it says L ascorbic acid if you're using it for the skin, because that's high and potent. That's the real vitamin C. If you just see regular, you're not going to get the potent vitamin C. But if you want to see a difference as far as helping you with hyperpigmentation, we're talking about serums now in vitamin C.
Okay.
You want to type of hyperpigmentation, any type of brightness to the skin, collagen, elastin. You want to make sure that that serum has L ascorbic in there. If it does not, then you know what, it's a very weak vitamin C for the skin. Now,
Oh,
yeah, so just that's just to let you know and everything. So moving along, again, where we're talking about the vitamin D3, naturally form of vitamin D, which your body makes from the sun light. So that's the third vitamin. Vitamin A, another one of my favorites, also too. It may lower your risk of cancer, supports a healthy immune system, reduces your risk of acne, supports bone health. That's what I use it for my inside the salon because I use vitamin A for my clients, reduces the risk of acne. Yes, it does work because I use it on them and it does help. That's one of my top treatments in here, using vitamin A on their skin. Supports bone health, promotes healthy growth and reproduction. So vitamin A is another good supplement to have also too as well. It helps you with your skin overall and all the other good things in the body too as well. Garlic containing antioxidant and help with high blood pressure. We all know if you drink some garlic tea, constantly being consistent, you have high blood pressure. Andrea, if you drink it consistently, it does help a lot with high blood pressure if you have any issues or anything with high blood pressure or popping those little buddies in your mouth and everything and all. It does help with the high blood pressure and everything like that with the garlics and stuff. So supplements for the skin and all: vitamin C, B vitamins, evening primrose oil, holy basil, turmeric with curcumin. It's loaded with antioxidants. Anytime you get any type of turmeric, make sure you have curcumin in there. It's loaded with antioxidants. That's what actually helps the turmeric. It's curcumin, whatever they want to call it. Vitamin E, this works with vitamin C. So those two are good friends too, also too. So great supplements. These are supplements I'm speaking for the skin. So vitamin E and vitamin C works together. So vitamin E is tocopherol, which is that's what vitamin E is. It's called tocopherol. So what it does, it actually helps heal the skin. So if you're having any issues going on with the skin, vitamin E is great to use for healing of the skin also too, right along with vitamin C. Collagen, it's one of my favorites for the skin. And CoQ10, I do use that for my clients as well. That's great for the skin also too. It helps with collagen and fine lines and wrinkles. It's a burst of fresh air, I call it. Because once you put CoQ10, someone said to me, I didn't know you can take CoQ10.
oh
So,
yeah. My
oh,
doctor had actually recommended CoQ10. I went to the store. I just want to let everybody know CoQ10 is expensive, people. It
yes,
is not cheap.
no, it
When
is.
so don't walk in there expecting that it's going to cost you 4.99 or something. It's costly for a little bottle of CoQ10,
Yeah.
like maybe something this size.
Mhm.
You're going to be paying like 35 bucks or so for a little bottle like this, $40 for
Yeah,
CoQ10.
it's very expensive. Yeah, and that's one, and it makes a big thing. Even the cream that I have to put on their face in here, the CoQ10 wasn't
Yeah.
very good at all.
Yeah. The
So it,
doctors will recommend it. So that's how I know then, I guess that is really good because my doctors kept on recommending it, but it is not cheap.
and it's very hydrating. If it's a skincare, it's very hydrating. It's actually giving you that oxygen back into your skin, so oxygenates that skin, which is absolutely amazing. I love
Okay.
treatment. So CoQ10 is great inside and outside the body as well.
Okay.
And basically, that's it on the supplements. We can go on and on and on about different types of supplements, but these are the most important that I pretty much pulled out that we can use that can actually help benefit our bodies right now during this time that we're still in for this pandemic time because it's not over. As it was said that the numbers were rising still again. I pray that they drop back down. So the thing about it is, having these supplements and the ones that I called out and everything. These would be great for us to help us throughout this time. A lot of people were having a lot of problems with their skin during this time. That's what kept me busy and all, which I'm glad. I'm sorry, guys, were having a hard time with your skin and everything, like rough time, but it worked out perfectly for me.
This is
And
how
all.
I want my skin to look flawless.
Well, did you see the thing I sent you? You never responded.
That's all.
You did, but you didn't respond.
I don't need to respond.
That
It's
was very
not,
rude.
it's
You
not
didn't respond back. Oh, you didn't respond.
You're supposed to tell me when to come in. I don't need. Hello.
Was I waiting for you because of something you told me? I was
The
waiting.
Yeah.
Anyway, part two of that. But anyway, so yes, guys. So the supplements are great for our skin. So we intervene, these put these things in our diets, and this can actually help us throughout the time of what's happening. It can also keep our skin nice and glowy. It can help our body also as well, and we just keep it going. Just do the right thing.
Yes.
You know,
So to boil it down, you guys heard the amazing list of supplements that Kimberly just provided us, which is great. And I was writing some of them down because some of them I'm really interested in on a personal level. But just the way Dr. Oz had boiled down a few, because, right now, what's staring us in the face every day is the COVID situation. So just pick out for us some of those, maybe if you want to boil it down to under five, a short list for all of our listeners who, may not have been writing down all of this stuff. I don't want it to go past them like in one ear, out the next.
mhm.
So maybe what are some of the top, maybe between 3 and 5, that you want to have people have a takeaway to say these are great for helping to boost your immune system for the COVID?
I would definitely say vitamin C would be one. Vitamin D3 is great also too. I would also say the garlic, turmeric. How many is that so far?
You've gone 4 so
Garlic and
far.
I would say those would be the
And the
main
zinc,
ones. Are
maybe you
those the
should do zinc too,
and yeah, and the zinc
right?
also would be great too. So those would be the main ones I would say that will really actually help you.
Okay, awesome. So there you have it, people. Um, these great supplements are good for you in general, but those that Kimberly just kind of zeroed in on, those really help to boost your immune system in a major way. The others, like the collagen and everything, as you mentioned, Kimberly, those are great for the skin, and we need all of that. But the
Yes,
ones that's going to go in and help to fight that battle are the ones that she just highlighted for you. We'll do it again in our wrap up for you guys to remind you of what those are. But take a note of those. Run into your health foods. Where do they find these things, Kimberly?
they can find them at Whole Foods, at your mom and pop supplement stores. And when I mean mom and pop stores, like different little stores that you have around in the neighborhood that have little health food stores. You'll know it's health food stores, but Whole Food stores, GNC, those kind of places. Vitamin Shop. I'm just trying to think of some of the other franchise ones and stuff. And check out those. You can go to those places and find supplements.
Awesome. There you have it, peeps. You've got your info. Take it and run with it and do your best to boost your immune system. And don't be like Reese, who's thinking that it's not going to help. Don't
Right.
look for that magic pill. That magic pill is not going to happen one day, people.
No, no magic pill.
It's not going to happen. You got to constantly be boosting and boosting and lifting every day. It's a little bit helps till you have fortified your system enough where you're strong enough
we have
that your system can help you fight.
we have to be consistent, and if you're not going, we have to be patient with our bodies. We have to be consistent. I found that out, and when we're definitely patient and we're consistent, we will see results. When we start moving fast and rushing and thinking and stopping and everything, we won't the see what's coming out of these things. So you have to make sure that you be consistent and make sure that you
Yeah.
your body and use them like you're supposed
Yeah.
to.
But
Okay.
you know what else you mentioned that I liked? I like the fact that you mentioned that, listen, you've got to be eating properly at the same time. These supplements alone are not going to do it, right? You've got to be somewhat eating healthy, and then this is a supplement. So it adds to what you're already doing to help you boost. So if you're eating like burgers and French fries every day, and that's your diet, you know, just expecting to take some supplements alone is not going to be enough, huh?
No, No, that's not, it's not going to help and it's not going to work or anything like that. So they're talking about if you're eating the correct foods like fruits and vegetables and stuff like that, maybe some of those food items are not, you're not getting all of the supplements. So that's where your little goodies, your little friends come in. That's where your little supplements piggyback right behind that. And it actually helps you give it that boost, that extra energy, the extra boost that you need and those nutrients that you need for
Right.
your body. So it is important to eat a good balanced meal, and if you're not getting all of it,
Right.
you're supposed to get those supplements and pop them in morning or evening,
Right.
like me in the morning and evening. Yeah, I
Yep.
love this. Morning and evening to get me settled. My morning, and then at night, I have my night.
Oh, see, I don't know if I'd be able to do that though, because whew, it's hard enough to do it once a day. Twice a day for me, it's like, oh
But
man,
I
I don't know
thought
if
they
I'll
said
remember.
I thought they said not to take vitamins in the night.
Well, this is depends on what's going on. It depends on what kind of drop down. It depends on what kind of vitamins it is. Like this particular pack right here has it's called Peak Performance. So this here, let me see the PM. This is a vitality multivitamin and mineral with omega, EPA, cell wise to help with cell turnover, recovery, and fluorify. So for in the body, the floor, the flora in your body. So they have different ones and everything. So the one in the morning has the same thing too as well. But you have it for the morning and the night. So it's actually helping you throughout the entire time. But they're really nice. They're really great vitamins and everything like that. Got a good what do you call it? Oh God, what was I gonna say? Good feedback on that vitamin.
Okay.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. Awesome. Thank you much.
Now,
Any
not every
questions, Racy?
And just sorry to tell you, it's not everybody has to do that. This
Right.
is the one that I chose that I was trying. You see what I'm saying? So that's not everybody have to take a vitamins at nighttime or anything like that. So if you're taking your vitamins throughout the day, like sometimes with the garlic, depends on what you're getting. They tell you 3 times out of the day with a meal.
Garlic is good though. My mother put
Garlic,
garlic
Yeah.
on
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Everything. I love it too. She always make garlic sandwich.
Like,
Ew.
My mom,
Garlic sandwich?
my mother weird.
What is that?
The
what?
garlic in the bread.
Oh,
What?
I
Yes,
shouldn't have said ew because to
no,
each his
she
own, but
my mother does, she just love garlic. Like she
Me
takes
love,
it to the extreme.
me love it.
wait.
No, I take it that stream,
So
but
is there anything else besides the garlic on the dry bread?
She just make her garlic sandwich and she stay her behind at home because that's where she need to be after she eat that garlic.
leave mommy alone.
But I get she just have a thing for garlic.
So we still have to get the barrel.
Wow.
Barrel yet.
That is something that I'm going to we're gonna bring that up because they just talked to me about it and I say, you know what? I'm gonna ask the girls about this thing. So after Carol's thing, if we have a little time, I'm
Okay.
gonna throw it in. I see what Carol think about that.
Yeah, 'cause
But
yeah,
she
I
was like,
disrespect mommy,
she was
man.
like,
Mm-mm.
Kim don't get the band for you yet. I'm like, listen here, mother.
That's what she said.
Yeah,
God,
yeah,
Jesus mercy, me and a problem now.
yep. So
I need
after
to put the barrel
after
in.
her section, if we have time, we're gonna enlighten Carol, and I want Carol's opinion on this.
Me have to go
'Cause
buy the barrel.
I feel like I'm just not a Jamaican at this point after having that conversation with my mom. So
Yeah, me I get the barrel for
Oh
mommy.
Lord. So with
God,
that,
with that
with
being
that,
said, we are going to turn it. What we
our
go into our Carol segment.
okay. So yes, we keep rolling because on Wednesdays we always have a lot to share with you guys, as you know, because
Hold
you
on,
can hear
Carol.
us.
Carol, real quick, I'm gonna tell you that the video that you sent me, we can't play today because my WhatsApp is not opening up on my laptop. I'm telling you, it's
The WhatsApp is not opening up.
on my laptop. So you may have to just play the so we can hear it. So
So play it from open your Gmail and the link is there in the Let's Connect Gmail. Just click it from there because it has to be on you. So just go to the Let's Connect Gmail and click the link.
all right, ma'am. All right, boss.
You got it, my dear.
Let me It's in the drive.
Yes, ma'am. It's
Okay.
in the Gmail, it's in the email, not in the drive, it's in the email.
Okay.
So while you're pulling that up, I want to introduce myself to you guys again, as if you don't really hear my big mouth the entire show already. Here's a little bit more of my big mouth. My name is Carol Tanya. And as you know before, if you don't know, I'll remind you again. I am a voiceover artist slash narrator slash storyteller, etc. And I am the founder of a company called Lights Action Voiceover. So really, I am in the business of voiceover. And I know some of you, you hear it every week, but I'll keep on telling you, right? Because you love hearing it so much. So, what voiceover is, again, I'm not going to talk it to death, but I am going to just tell you this week. I wanted to just chat about some of the important things that you really want to look for when you look for a voiceover artist. And the first thing I want to remind you guys again, voiceover has many different aspects to it, many different categories. You can do voiceover for voicemail. I love telling everybody about your voicemails because there are so many of us small business owners that have small businesses and we feel like, oh, we can't afford voiceover or we're not aware what voiceover can do for a business, but you use voiceover to add to your business and to highlight your product and to enhance your image or your brand, whatever that brand is. The voiceover has to complement your brand. And one of the simple ways that I keep on reminding everybody about is something as simple as your voicemail. Your voicemail should just really not just say, hey, you reached Carol. Sorry, I'm not available. Call me back, or I'll call you right back. Or some people don't have anything. It just has that automated system. You call and say, such just is not available right now. It's not saying anything about your business. You want to highlight what your business is. Somebody calls you and they can't reach you, you still want to pass out that message about your business and to highlight why, these customers should really stick around or try to see what it is that you have to offer. Okay. So you might be missing out on business, on customers, and leaving money on the table. So your voicemail can help with that. So just reach out to me. The name of my company is called Lights Action Voiceover. And again, you can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook, on LinkedIn. Lights Action Voiceover. And you will see this face on all those platforms. So you know it's me. Um, so that's one of the things I wanted to remind you of. You have for voicemail, you can use voiceover for business presentations, for documentaries, for e-learning. You can use it for IVR. We hear voiceover in audiobooks all the time. Like Miss Kimberly loved to drive and reflect on life and all the wonderful things in life that's happening. Now, of course, she cannot be reading a book while she's driving. So that's where you have someone like me who is into voiceover and she can drive and listen to someone read the book to her. That's voiceover as well. Maybe you have a product, maybe you make earrings, maybe you make clothing, maybe you make those fabulous teas that Reese and Kimberly love to talk about so much, and you want to highlight your teas, your wonderful herbal teas and the delicious teas that you make, and you want people to talk about them. Maybe you want to remind people that you have an amazing work bar where people can come to. If they don't have an office of their own, they can bring their clients to meet with at the work bar. And you want to highlight that to people and tell people everything about the work bar and why they should be coming to your work bar. You can use voiceover to highlight your marketing efforts as well. All right. So this video is just a cute little video I'm going to show you guys because I made this week to say, here's another form of voiceover, just what I'm doing right now. Hit it, Racy. Can you open your screen?
And voiceover. So, narration, animation, e-learning,
Can you restart it, please?
radio hosts.
Thank you, my dear.
Hi, everybody. This is Carol Tanya from Lights Action Voiceover. So, narration, animation, e-learning, documentaries, radio hosts, voicemail, commercials. What are all these things? Voiceover. These are all different types of voiceover. And I've been busy doing one of these things. I've been busy being a radio host. And I'm so excited and just wanted to share this with you all. I'm so happy to have something new and fresh and exciting. So you can check me out at Let's Konnect. That's Konnect with a K. Let's Konnect. And I'll be happy to chat with you about your voiceover needs. I look forward to hearing from you. Talk to you soon.
Can you see the vision?
What happened?
Pause. It's done.
Always uneven. The glue takes weeks to get off of my eyelashes. So let me tell you a little bit about magnetic.
Reese, you about to get fired again, girl. You about to get fired.
Because I hate it because
That, hey, if you ever see Andrea Pierce, they always in love. I can't do it. I can't do it.
every time the
I'll
YouTube
take this every Wednesday, yeah, man.
something came up, I hate it. Different needs. I'm telling you, I'm taking myself off of this project.
He went back on. But it's just a feel so whatever. Why?
Oh my goodness.
I quit.
Yeah. Every week we're Reese.
I quit.
And every week Reese quit.
Exactly.
This is not the scripture for me.
Oh my goodness.
That is why they have different
Oh my goodness.
departments, right?
No, sir. Why?
That's so funny.
You are
All right. So with that, I really just wanted to highlight this week. I just talked about being a radio host because being a radio host, again, that involves voiceover. So that's one category of voiceover: podcasting, radio host, like I said, documentary, animation, narration, audiobooks. All of those are different forms of voiceover. And some of the qualities you should be looking for in your voiceover, you want to look for flexibility. And I think I was talking with you also recently, Reese, where we were talking about that very thing. And I did a project recently, and you felt like I sounded different and you didn't realize it was me. And I said, yeah, that is me. So it depends on the brand and the image of that brand. So whatever your brand is, I need to change a little bit to make sure that the voiceover is suitable for your brand. Because if your brand is more a little bit more relaxed, etc., I can't be up there talking about, hey, what's up? Da, da, da. You know, I have to adopt that type of flexibility in my approach for whatever your brand imaging is, and you own that as the customer, as the client. Enunciation. These are some of the things that you must look for when someone approaches you and says, you know what, as a voiceover artist, I'm gonna do this for you, and yeah. You're looking for enunciation, someone who can pronounce words properly. You know, and I made fun of myself earlier because I had trouble with that one word. And
Yes. I know.
huh?
No,
What's that?
Saying, like you want to go to the work bar. I finna go to the work bar. You finna go to the work bar. Da, 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 da. They think that's cute. What you talking about? Enunciation, right? So
Right.
I understand that part.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's no good at all.
Uh-uh. Huh?
Exactly.
That's not good.
Exactly. And while you can use slang depending on the project that you're doing, it's not like you can't use it, but you have to remember that you want a voiceover artist. Say that again.
If
Kim?
it's urban,
What did you say?
If it's urban,
Right.
if it's urban, it's a little bit different if you want to do that because that's what they speak is, slang. They're not looking to be how we're talking now and everything like that. So if it works for them because it actually sells to what's going on or what, that's probably other, yeah, if they're gonna use the slang.
Right.
So it depends on
It
business.
exactly. So again,
So it could be
exactly.
urban,
So it
be able to with
depends also, like I said, on your, what's that?
no, I was asking you, would you be able to
Your audio is very low, Reese, so I couldn't hear you.
would
Very
you
much.
would you be able, you can hear me now? Is it better?
Oh, I hear you better now.
Okay. Would you
Better.
be able to do urban if
Yeah.
somebody came to you and say, yo, I'm having this
It depends
I'm
on,
having this hip hop
yeah.
sip and paint, and I need you to do the voiceover for that. So let me see what you can come with. I want to know. I want to make a decision right now if I'm gonna hire you or not. Because all my peeps that's coming,
Yeah.
they're from the
Well,
hood. They're from the hood, and they don't understand
yeah.
nothing about no
There you
English.
go.
They don't want to hear nothing. So, Miss Carol, let me see what
Yeah.
you got. Let me see what you got.
I no, you're not gonna do that to me this week. So you're not gonna do that to me
No,
this week.
I'm being a customer. I'm
But it
asking you.
depends. I can't do all the accents. There are some accents that require a little bit more work because like New Orleans
We ain't
and
talking about
stuff
no.
like that.
You
I
don't
can't
have
do
to have
all
a
the
New York
accents yet.
accent. You don't have
You
to have a New York
put on
accent.
Different,
put on like that New York thing, like yo B, what's
Oh,
up?
B,
Yes.
what's up? We have
Yeah,
to hit
yeah.
that
What's up? What's up? What's up? We having a party down the
What
block. Y'all better come through. You hear me?
Right,
You feel
right.
me?
Well, go ahead, girl.
Right.
You versatile. You
what up, son? Yo, yeah, put that on. What up, son?
I
You
am from New
understand?
York. What are you
What up,
talking
son?
about? Of course
What
I
up, son?
do. What
What up,
up, son?
son?
What up, son?
That's one thing about the New York
What up,
people. That
son? You
man.
coming through tonight? We coming through tonight. We're gonna be having a party tonight. You hear me? You feel me? It's gonna be lit, yo. So stuff like that.
Yo,
I
I
love
bet you
it.
didn't think I could do that.
I didn't think you could do that, girl. I didn't think so. You cool peeps. You
Well, I
cool
am
peeps
from New York.
okay.
from New York. I hear you.
I am from New York. So, but enunciation, and that's where the flexibility comes in, and that's where the enunciation comes in. It depends on your brand and the image that you want to project. All right. But so also sometimes if you're in a larger market, then you need to be able to enunciate because you don't know who's listening, right? Sometimes it's an international project and people from other countries, they don't know what I is and what up, son. They
Uh,
don't know that.
what up,
So
son?
they,
I'm looking
but
at
they
son.
understand,
Son, they know.
you know,
Yeah,
what
true,
up, what
true,
up?
true.
So they don't know that if it's an international project and you want to think about the clarity of speech, etc. You want to think about, like I said, the articulation.
That's right.
Person must